What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me this morning, this Wednesday morning. It's a little chilly out here, but it's feeling good, honestly. It's a little chilly, but not too chilly. It's perfect to get out here and do one of these breezes. And I'm wondering, what are they doing? What are they doing in here? I'm seeing a lot of construction in there and not really knowing what this is supposed to turn into. But man, good morning to y'all, for real. I'm glad to be back out here doing my morning walks and talking to you guys. You know, as I said before, I was getting those steps in on the treadmill, but was getting them steps in nonetheless. So I want you guys who are also doing the 10,000 steps, remember there's more than one way to do this. If it's raining out or snowing out, just too cold for you, and you still want to do it, if you got a local gym that you're a member of, go in there and get them steps in on that treadmill. It's not the most exciting by any means, but get them steps in nonetheless, however way you can. Maybe some of them on the treadmill, maybe some of them out walking, maybe some of them out running. I don't know. Go to the mall. You guys, you've seen me. I've gotten creative. I go to the mall and stuff, so get them in. Shout out to you guys, though, my subscribers. Thank you for joining me along on this ride to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're gonna see how it goes. I mean, I just avoided a pile of dung. I don't know what animal it is. Somebody already stepped in it, though. I didn't. So but shout out to you guys, man, for following me on this ride. It's greatly appreciated. Now let's get into the topic at hand, man. They talking about FEMA. FEMA has fallen under scrutiny. I mean, people already was criticizing FEMA for the way that they was moving. You know, during the last two hurricanes, people were saying that they really were of very little help. You know, you had the one situation where what was it, in North Carolina, how they were basically told they were only going to get $750 is what they were going to get. And they were saying this to people who had lost everything. And you guys know how I felt about that. I was very vocal about the fact that I thought that was absolutely ridiculous, because you got people who are paying into this system, and when they need help, they're told there's no money, basically. $750 is all you're going to get. But then later on, you know, Kamala tweets out about how concerned she is about the people of Lebanon, and she's going to send $150 million of tax dollars after telling you that you're only going to get $750. She's then going to send your tax dollars over there somewhere else to provide for them, literally, all the things that the North Carolina hurricane victims needed: sanitation, food, water, shelter, like all the things that American taxpayers here need, and were essentially being denied by being told that they were going to get pennies. We're going to just write a gigantic check and send money over there. So that was not cool. I didn't like that. But now we're learning, because they fired a woman, a sister, who was, not one of the high ups, but, you know, one of the people who was in a position of power, basically like a manager level sort of person. They fired her because she had some notes that were talking about, basically they were saying that, or her notes said that they weren't to go to houses that had Trump signs out front. Now, this is a serious problem, man, because you're somewhere where everybody is wiped out and you're worried about people's political beliefs. And, you know, she was basically saying that she's a scapegoat. She was targeted and fired unfairly, that these were not instructions that she came up with. These were instructions from above her, but she's being scapegoated because they were her notes. Well, they're your notes, yes. So it is easy for them to kind of throw you under the bus because these are your notes. But yeah, you were going along with it. So you're becoming a whistleblower of sorts after being fired, and it's not really making you sympathetic, because if you still had your job, you'd still be going along with it. So you're kind of admitting that you were complicit in this discrimination practice, because that's what it was. If you're choosing not to go to anybody's house based on the fact that they have a Trump sign outside, that is clear discrimination. You were complicit in this, but now you want to put everybody on blast. Now that you've been fired. I mean, people used to do that when I worked at GameStop. People used to do that all the time. Our DM Jill, she'd come in and fire somebody. Shout out to Jill, and because she still works with the company, and I really like Jill a lot. She was very, very tough but very fair DM. But she'd come in and she'd fire somebody, and now that person wants to try to throw everybody under the bus on their way out the door. And whether what the person that was just fired was saying was true or not, Jill really was taking it with a grain of salt, because, I mean, she expects that for now the person that's being fired to now do some sort of revenge on their way out the door. Well, such and such was doing this, well, such and such was doing that. Okay, well, you the one that got caught. The one that gets caught always wants to be the one that's complaining. But you got caught, though. It's like when people get pulled over and their excuses, all those cars were speeding, you chose me. Well, if 5 people go past the cop's speed, then he can't catch all 5. He's got to pick one and stop them. So what are you going to do? But she's done a few interviews, and in a different interview that I saw that she did, I think it was on News Nation, because the first one that I seen she did was on Fox News. But she was on News Nation, and now her story changed a little bit, because now she's like, oh, well, this wasn't politically motivated on my part because I didn't vote Kamala. And the guy then asked her, so you voted Trump then? And she was like, no. I don't believe this woman at all, okay? I do not. It's a sister, a bit of a boss babe, and pretty much all of them. I mean, let's look at the numbers here. Like 92% black women voted Kamala. 92%. And typically, all the sister boss babes were in full support of Kamala Harris. Full support. So is it possible that she didn't vote for Kamala? Yeah, but is it likely? No. And I especially was doubtful of what she was saying, because when the guy asked her, did she vote for Trump, she wasn't expecting that. She was not expecting the dude to follow up with that, which I don't even know why she wouldn't expect that. So before they moved on, he was like, just to, get that out there, you voted for Trump then? And she did a bit of a nervous laugh, because she was caught off guard and was like, no. Okay, so you didn't vote at all? I'm sorry, I do not buy that, man. Just basically being around enough of the boss babe sister types. No, I just don't believe that she was not a Kamala supporter, especially when you look at the numbers and see that overwhelmingly black women voted for Kamala Harris. In all honesty, if I could be really real with y'all, based on the numbers, it said 92% black women and it was like 77% black men. To me, those numbers were very embarrassing, because that shows that only black folks were affected by Kamala's garbage ass campaign. Only black folks were. We by far were the largest supporters for her. We were the group that gave her the most support. No other group showed up for her like black folks did. We are the only group that bought into her bullshit. That is very embarrassing to me, man. 23% black men voted Trump, which is more than before. That's a little more than double of what it was before. But honestly, I thought it should have been more like 45-50% of black men that voted Trump. A black man out here on the grind, supporting your family. I don't know how you really could be walking lockstep talking about, oh, I'm going to vote for Kamala. I really don't know how you could do that, but that's neither here nor there to the whole thing with FEMA. I think it's ridiculous that they were choosing who to help and who not to help based on political beliefs. And she tried to compare it to people with dogs, because she said that in their experience, people that had Trump signs tended to be more hostile towards them. I don't know how true that is. I'm skeptical of that, but this was her claim for why they were moving this way, for why they were, using such a very discriminatory practice in helping people, if you could even call what they were doing help. And she said it's based on people being comfortable. If there's a dog there and a person's not comfortable, then you can't approach that property. That just sounded really ridiculous, comparing a person who has a Trump 2024 sign out front to a person having a dog. You're not feeling comfortable approaching it because of a dog. That just sounded really weak sauce to me, and I don't buy it. I don't think it's true. I think this is just her trying to save face, and it's not going to work at that. It's not going to work. She's not going to get her job back. Any lawsuit that she may try to do probably isn't going to go anywhere. But I'm wondering if that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to make this news circuit. That thing is cold. That's why I'm getting up. If she's trying to do some news circuit to try to create some sort of momentum to possibly sue them, I don't think that's going to work, because she doesn't have receipts for anything. Now, is what she's saying true, that other higher ups were supporting this and they're the ones that shot it to her? That's very possible. That absolutely is possible, and likely is true that higher ups did feel this way. But I believe really that she felt this way as well, which is why she went along with it. She just got caught holding the bag. But that don't mean that she wasn't, on board with this. I believe she was in full support of this idea. Ultimately, though, she has no receipts for nothing. She just has accusations and no receipts. And they actually had receipts on her, which is how she was able to be let go. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think. Have you heard of this? What did you think of it? I thought it was a pretty interesting thing to occur, which is why I wanted to talk about it a bit. I've been very critical of FEMA before, but I was especially critical of FEMA with the way they handled these hurricanes recently. So this coming out about them moving real foul when it came to helping people or not based on political beliefs, this just really doesn't surprise me, man. FEMA is, I don't want to say a corrupt organization, but it's in desperate need of some restructuring. And I hope it gets that now that we have some new leadership in place. So I'm going to holler at y'all, man. I appreciate y'all as always. Talk to you soon. Peace.